There's quite a double standard because he's standing by Hegseth, but if you remember when he called for America's first black defense attorney to resign.
And there she goes again. Sonny Hostin, professional race baiter and amateur fact-checker. Pete Hegseth's name has been dragged through the mud for days. Leaks, headlines, scandal hysteria, and when it all starts falling apart, Sonny doesn't reach for the facts. She reaches for her favorite weapon, the race card. Doesn't matter that Hegseth didn't leak classified info. Doesn't matter that the Pentagon mess is a bunch of bitter ex-staffers trying to save face. To Sonny, it's simple. White guy defended, black guy criticized. Cue the outrage. Welcome to The View, where truth takes a backseat to skin color, and every scandal gets repackaged as a civil rights crusade.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations. Not going to work with me.
Trump seems to be behaving as if this is nothing. Yeah. There's quite a double standard because he's standing by Hegseth, but if you remember, he sang a different tune when he called for America's first black defense attorney, Lloyd, appointed by President Biden in 2021, to resign after he failed to disclose that he had undergone a surgical operation to treat prostate cancer, and he was kind of gone for about 4 days. I'm not saying that that was good either, but I don't think those two things are the same because Trump said Austin should be fired immediately for improper professional conduct and dereliction of duty. If that was the case then President Trump, that's the case now.
Look, I'm done pretending Sonny Hostin is a serious person. She is, without a doubt, the most race-obsessed talking head on television. You could hand her a weather report, and she'd find a way to accuse a cold front of white supremacy. Pete Hegseth is out here swatting down total nonsense. Not war plans, not classified info, just unclassified coordination texts. But somehow, that's the same as Lloyd disappearing from his post for 4 days with no explanation. And no one, not even Biden, knew where he was. Although, on second thought, Biden didn't know where he was himself either. But we all knew that. This isn't insight. It's weaponized identity politics. Pete laid it out perfectly. This is a coordinated attempt to sabotage Trump's defense agenda, and most importantly, clean up the Pentagon. And Sonny's job is to do what the mainstream press can't, turn sabotage into sympathy for anyone who checks the right demographic box. That's not debate. That's not holding power accountable. That's bullshit. And every time the left pulls this crap, every time they cry racism instead of admitting they were wrong, they make it harder for real conversations to happen. They make it harder to trust anything, and they make race relations worse, not better. You want real wisdom on race? Not this performative garbage from The View. Here's how Morgan Freeman explained it years ago. Simple, clear, and dead on.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Exactly. Real solutions don't come from race hustlers on daytime TV. They come from treating people like equals, not like political pawns. This wasn't about qualifications. It wasn't about national security. It was about throwing meat to the mob. And Sonny, like always, was happy to light the match. So here's the truth. Sonny Hostin isn't exposing injustice. She's propping up a fake narrative that even the New York Times can't keep straight. This isn't journalism. It's not accountability. It's PR for professional victims who need racism or whatever fake scandal they can find to stay relevant. Pete Hegseth defended himself with facts. Sonny answered with feelings. Because when reality doesn't cooperate, The View reaches for the only card it has left. And let's be honest. The Democrat platform is collapsing. They're out of ideas. They're out of solutions. So they fall back on fake news, race baiting, and bad 90-10 issues. Narratives so weak. 90% of Americans know they're garbage, and only the loudest 10% still pretend otherwise. If you're tired of this race baiting theater, if you're done watching daytime TV hosts turn every headline into a civil rights drama, then do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who still thinks The View is anything but DNC daytime programming. And for more truth, fire, and yes, sarcasm, go to steadfastandloyal.com. We don't do cover-ups, we don't do spin. We tell it like it is, and we do it with a grin. As always, stay informed, stay free, and stay steadfast and loyal. I'm Jimmy Parker. Thanks for joining us.